You, over there.
It's me.
I want to play a game today.
Ew.
What?
Okay.
What was the U for?
I don't know.
Alright. Here's the game.
I guess the ew is because, in case it was Halo 1 Remastered, or, you know.
Okay, that's fitting.
Ew.
You know, it's not like I just saw you today, and then it's not like you know what we're doing, but I don't, whatever.
Classic intro.
I'm just making sure. Okay.
It's working.
It's working. We haven't recorded in a while.
Classic intro.
Alright. I'm going to pretend that I am Pierre Hines, lead of Halo Studios. And I'm going to assume that it is October 2024 when 343 becomes Halo Studios. And I'm just going to talk about what I would do if I was Pierre Hines. And then what I want you to do is just criticize me as a Halo fan. Like, do you think I'm going in the right direction? Do you think I'm going in the wrong direction?
Alright, so you're gonna, you have bullet points, and now I'm gonna, criticize your bullet point?
So basically...
I'm good at playing devil's advocate, so...
Yeah. I'm not...
Perfect.
I'm not playing as a game developer. I am leading the company, and I'm trying to create the best environment to accomplish the goals that I want to get to. And I'm trying to hire the best people that I can, and I'm trying to work on the projects that I want to do.
So this is like a world where we're not... Is this a perfect world, or is this what you think Peter Hines should have done?
So I'm going to go over the rules. Yes, most likely what Peter Hines should have done, but there is a caveat to that. So I'll go over my rules really quick to make it clear. Okay, so the rules that I have. So I'm going to assume that I have the ability to negotiate with Microsoft. So in case Microsoft is making Pierre Hines make the Halo remake, for example, I'm going to assume just for the sake of this game that I have the ability to negotiate with Microsoft and tell them no if they are the reason that Pierre Hines is doing this. If just so the game doesn't feel hopeless, because if I have to cave into Microsoft, then then there's basically no point to this.
Sure.
My goal is eventually I want to make Halo 7. I want to make it the best Halo game ever made. I want to, and then before that happens, I also want. So one thing I do agree with Pierre Hines is I do agree with having multiple projects going on.
Right.
I do agree with working with Unreal Engine instead of Blam, because Halo Infinite's development.
Right.
So
this has to take into account everything 343 has done.
Yes.
Up to Peter Hines.
Yes.
Becoming
everything that happened before October 2024 has happened.
All right. Sure.
All right.
I'm basically going to be playing the role of Microsoft.
Okay, or Halo fan, whatever you feel like, whatever you.
Sure, but I'll probably most of your arguments will be, I'll be arguing from the corporate standpoint where
Okay.
And I'll say what perspective I'm taking it from, and why if it's not reasonable, why from what perspective.
Okay.
Or what a Halo fan might want.
All right. Here I'll go over really quickly what my mission statement is, since I'm talking to a corporate person right now.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to make the best Halo game ever made in terms of how many copies it sells. This is not going to be free. It's not going to be free to play. It's going to
none of it.
None of it.
The multiplayer, none of it.
None of it. Yep.
I don't know. That's not very profitable these days.
Well, how's Halo Infinite doing profit-wise?
Yeah, I mean, but look at other free-to-play games, they just didn't hit the mark with Halo Infinite.
Just didn't hit the mark.
That's right. So I'm going to be very skeptical if there's no free-to-play element, because how are we going to sell those skins?
Okay, well,
Continued profitability for a game is very important these days, especially with inflated development costs.
Well, if you want another free-to-play game...
Is it going to be $70 or $60?
Halo 7, we'll think about it. Now, there's going to be a bunch of projects before Halo 7. They're not going to be $70. No way. They are going to be $60 or even less, depending on how much content we're able to provide.
And we're trying to sell the PlayStation these days. Are all these games going to be on PlayStation as well?
Yes. The very first project we're going to work on is going to address that.
Okay.
All right. And we're gonna assume 2024. Microsoft has come to Halo Studios and says, "Hey, we want this on PlayStation."
Yeah.
And so do something.
Gotcha.
All right. So now we're gonna go to my plan. All right. So the very first thing, the moment I hear Microsoft say, we want this on PlayStation, we're going to rebuild the team that worked on reviving MCC. So whatever the size of that was in terms of the number of employees, we're going to get as many of the same employees as we can. If we did outsource to certain Affinia, etc., we're going to do that because that worked last time.
Sure.
And we're going to work on releasing it to PlayStation. And on top of that, we're going to release 2 more seasons of additional skins you can earn. We're going to add new content to Master Chief Collection. Starting with, we're going to add in some really cool mods that people have made with the workshop. So people have made really cool campaign mods. Then the best ones we're gonna put them in MCC in season 7 or season 8. So that's gonna be one of them. And then the next, obviously new skins, obviously new multiplayer maps that we can develop here at Halo Studios within the Blam engine. So it works, with Halo 3, etc. Most of them are going to be Halo 3 maps. Some are Halo Infinite. But yeah, maybe Halo 2. And all right, and then we need a couple more big splashes. This first one,
Okay, are we done with the MCC idea?
No, we're still in MCC. Okay. So we need to make a couple more splashes MCC to bring a lot more people back to really grow the population. Oh, and before we do that, obviously we need to address the hacking problem. Like, that absolutely needs to be taken care of as soon as possible before we start adding stuff into the game. Speaking to you, since you know more about the hacking problem than I do, do you know how bad it is?
I heard. I don't know if it's been addressed, but from what I know right now, it's like not an issue, but the population is low, so I don't know if it could return. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not sure.
Well, that's why we're adding as many big splashes as we can. So one of them was bringing in the best campaign mods that we can into the console version. Like, obviously the PC people can access it because they have mod support. All right, this next big splash, I don't like it, but at the same time, I think we need it. I think
we're putting Sprint into all Halo games.
No, but this might be close to that. We're gonna put Halo 5 in MCC because we put ODST and Reach in there. I know Halo 5 is not the Halo that I want, but it is. It would make a big splash, and it's old enough to where I think it's warranted, because like Halo 4 wasn't even that old when it first got into MCC. How's that sound?
The problem is Halo 5 is just so much different from the other Halo games that I don't know if it fits.
So is Halo 4. So is
sorta, but they kind of tailored it for MCC. I just think that Halo 5, I think that if you were gonna put it in MCC, you would probably click a button to open a different Halo 5 menu. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be integrated. I think it would have to be if you want to play Halo 5, you gotta play the Halo 5 version of MCC. You know what I mean? It's like its own little bubble instead of being integrated with the other games. Because I just think it's it's like Halo 4 was a step away, and Halo 5 is like 5 steps away in terms of gameplay in modes and stuff like that. So
Okay.
especially like rec weapons and all that stuff gets crazy. Warzone, all those weird game types like Invasion. I think already like putting Invasion in MCC is a problem because they don't know where the fuck to put it. Like there's just so many of those game types in Halo 5 that like I don't think it would integrate very well into the rest of it. But updating it, putting it on PC, definitely. You know what I mean? Halo 5 deserves its, even no matter what you think about it, it deserves an update, and it deserves to be able to be played with variable frames, or FOV and frame rate and stuff like that. It deserves that. So
What if we made a deal where, okay, so I like your idea of, instead of it being integrated into MCC, there's just a link that leads you to the game.
Sure, kind of like how campaign is in Halo Infinite, how you kind of like go to a different menu.
Yeah.
But it's still native to the game, where it's like it's still part of MCC, but to access it, you gotta change menus or whatever.
I say if someone buys MCC, so I think when Halo Reach and ODST came to the game, we paid like what, $15-$20 for it for
Right.
those games. If you let's say that we make a deal where if someone buys Master Chief Collection, you can buy Halo 5 for $20.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that the rest of the stuff you said is, besides that, if you're gonna port the game, I think everything is the rest of it is not so feasible except for fixing the hacking situation. Just because I think you're underestimating the development time to do those things. Extra skins maybe, but like that's not gonna draw people back to the game. But adding Halo 5, I think and then putting it on PS5, I think is big enough. You know what I mean?
It's
I don't
big
think,
enough.
because I think like adding mod support for consoles and stuff like that is a big issue, especially if we just pick and choose what mods we want to put on and integrate into the game. It would have to be full mod support or no mod support. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any.
You don't.
Except for, I think they could add the dig site stuff. I think that, because they have a team from Halo Studios working on dig site stuff. They're working with the Halo team, so adding that stuff so you have everything that Halo's ever been on the MCC, I think would be good enough. And then like if you want to play mods, go on PC, scrub. You know what I mean? But I think Halo 5 does deserve its limelight, and I think like the dig site stuff would be cool to bring to people on console, because that's like stuff from the studio. So
Okay. All right.
and hacking, I don't know how feasible like fixing hacking is, but you can always turn off crossplay if it's an issue on PS5. So
I want to keep crossplay as much as I can.
sure, yeah. I'm just saying like I don't know how much of an issue it is these days, but I just know it's still possible to do. So they would have to crack down on it more. I mean, if you're making the sales from PS5, you'll probably have the resources to do it. But the rest of the stuff, I think PS5 people just need the core of Halo just to get to know it, like you said. We're introducing them to it, so
Yeah.
that's a good place to start.
Okay.
And having Halo 5 there is good, because then it's like they're not missing anything.
Yeah.
We're not porting MCC. They only get 1 through 4, and then they get Halo 7, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, where are we? We're missing Infinite, and we're missing Halo 5, so
Okay.
maybe for the better. But like, honestly, you don't need Halo 5 to understand Infinite, so
All
you
right.
basically get the story. But
Speaking of Infinite, okay, so MCC, that was pretty much everything I wanted to do with MCC. At least for the time being.
with Halo 5, how would you handle? Because you used to have to pay for rec weapons, like bundles and stuff like that. How would you address that? Because Warzone, would you just have like, you can't buy the packs to get your Warzone rec weapons? You would just like kind of unlock them as you play.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Okay.
But they can't. The problem is like with Halo 4, you could just unlock everything from the start and just give people everything. But with Halo 5, that's kind of like, if everyone had everything, it would be overpowered. So you kind of have to, like, still draw them out.
Does Halo 5... So, I haven't played Halo 5 in a very long time. Does when you buy, like, packs, whatever you buy in Halo 5... is there a credit system, or do you buy credits and then you use those credits, or do you just use real money?
You had to buy crates, basically, and the crates would have armor and rec weapons in them.
What if you could spend Spartan points from MCC in Halo 5 instead of paying real money?
Maybe. I think. See, I don't know. It'd be a thing like how often you can unlock stuff from Halo 5, because if you, I would have Halo 5 would have to have its own credit system. You know what I mean? I don't think you don't want to mess with people getting cosmetics in the regular MCC if they don't want to, like, if they want to go to Halo 5 and they want to, like, be able to progress in Halo 5 without having to sacrifice getting cosmetics from.
Okay.
But I think Halo 5 would have its own, because you unlock the armor through the packs or whatever, but I think the pack should have, like, how it in MCC, like, a battle pass to spend Spartan points on. I think that would solve that system, because people deserve to be able to look how they want. They shouldn't have to unlock it in random packs. That was a big problem. People hiding the armor behind rec packs was pretty shit. So
okay. I'm gonna push towards, since Halo 5 is so old, I'm gonna say no more paying for that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have the experts that worked on Halo 5 decide how that's gonna work.
System, yeah.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know how to do that. But obviously, I'm gonna say no more paying for it.
Yeah. That'd be good. I think Halo 5 would be more fun if everyone unlocked stuff at the same rate, and you can Warzone wasn't. It was never really pay to win. I don't think anyone was. I think only like a handful of people were, like, paying out their ass to be able to be a superpowered god. But I'm sure it happened, and everyone unlocking stuff at the same rate would be good.
All right.
Or maybe even a better system where you could, like, choose what you want to unlock. I guess because they would unlock. They would, like, release rec weapons and updates and stuff, and people wouldn't be able to get them for, like, years, you know what I mean? Because they had to work through all the other slop first.
Oh my god.
Because it was like, you had to work through weapons and, like, attachments for the weapons and armor and other bullshit, you know what I mean? So it's like they padded it out super hard. So it'd be nice if we could, like, skim that down so people could play how they want from the start. So
okay, if the experts agree with you, yeah, I'd say do that. All right, so that addresses Halo 5.
All right, and MCC. So I agree. MCC. I agree that MCC is the place to start, or should have been the place to start.
Yeah, we're in the hypothetical land right now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would agree with that too.
All right, next thing we need to address Halo Infinite, because like you said, it'd be very weird if PlayStation doesn't have access to Infinite, and that might be a challenge. Because it's the slip space engine, you gotta know how to mess with that. I don't know how good Halo Studios or 343 has gotten with understanding it to the point where, like, would they be able to port that to PlayStation?
Yeah, same thing with MCC. I don't know.
Well, MCC, I think they can, because I think it's in a good spot, like, because the games are in Blam, but they're run in Unreal. Like the MCC UI is Unreal, so I feel like they could do that. Plus, they proved that with porting it over to Steam when it originally wasn't supposed to be there.
I mean, Halo Infinite's on Steam.
I know that's because that was the plan to get Halo Infinite on Steam and Xbox. But now we're in an unprecedented territory where, okay, now we want you to put it on PlayStation, which wasn't originally planned for. So I'm just wondering.
I don't know how much different it is. I don't know how hard it is to port things. I wouldn't say that MCC and Halo Infinite are super dissimilar with porting.
Okay.
I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I don't know how hard it would be because I don't really know.
All right.
A PlayStation's ecosystem, so I don't know if that could be a
you're,
factor.
If you're right, then I guess we have nothing to worry about. If we're
well,
wrong,
it's either we have like at the core we have a lot to worry about, or we don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we may or may not have to hire more people to get Halo Infinite into PlayStation, because speaking from a corporate standpoint, that's more people buying the battle passes and in the store and all that. So, and also, yeah, we want if you want Halo 7 to be really good and appealing to, and we want people on PlayStation hyped for Halo 7, we got to get them to play Halo Infinite.
Well, how soon after MCC is Halo Infinite coming to? We don't want to feed PS5 people too much Halo. You know what I mean?
Too much Halo. Okay.
We don't want to split. If we're feeding them MCC, we're gonna want to wait a long time before we give them Infinite. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or it's like, or do we give them Infinite first so that we can because we eventually want to cut off seasons for Infinite once Halo 7 releases. So
yeah,
don't we want to feed them the MTX now? The live service right now. Don't we give them Halo Infinite right now? This is because people are on Infinite right now. You know what I mean? People are barely on MCC these days. I think we should feed them Infinite first. At least the multiplayer, and then the campaign can come after. But I want to get the multiplayer onto PlayStation, so we can start making that money off of those skins.
Okay.
They don't need any story for the multiplayer. And then we'll release a big update too for Infinite. You know what I mean? Like a new game mode or something. So right when it comes to PS5. So
I'm thinking of it in terms. So I get where you're coming from, but I'm also thinking of it in terms of what's going to hook the most people to the Halo IP the most. Like, is Infinite going to do that, or is experiencing the Bungie magic going to do that?
Well, let's hear the rest of your pitch, and then we'll decide.
Okay.
Where from what else comes before Halo 7?
Okay.
That we want to release and let people play.
Okay. So for now, let's just assume that MCC is going to come out first, and we'll come back if we think okay, maybe Infinite should have gone first, but
so it's MCC and then Infinite next. And then
maybe Infinite next, or maybe your idea might be right, where maybe we want to space it out a bit.
Okay.
But until then, we'll address Halo Infinite itself on Xbox and Steam. So I agree with the most part what's going on with Infinite right now. Like, a skeleton crew makes the most sense. Like, we got to move on to more other projects.
Yeah.
What they're doing right now in Infinite, you know what? It's good enough. Like, keep doing what you're doing. The only thing I'm going to change is I would need to see the numbers. I haven't looked too deep into it. I need to see how well the store is doing, and if it really isn't doing that well as compared to when it first started, like if the cash cows really aren't there, I'm going to start leaning towards slashing prices to the highest it could go is like $10 for like a set, and then it'll go lower.
Well, they already do sales on certain items each week.
Sure, but like how low does it go?
It goes like, at least I think it depends on the item, but I've seen some stuff like half price. So
okay.
They're already doing some of that. I think they know that the skins market is not out there so much, so a lot of the older stuff they do put on sale periodically, so
okay.
It's not slashed like you're saying, but I think if when they stop dropping content for the games, when they should slash those prices to nothing, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Just so they could squeeze every last bit out. I think as long as they're still doing like periodic updates, so we can't drop the prices just yet, because then people will feel scammed that they bought them at that high price. You know what I mean? So I think slashing the prices immediately might piss off some people as well. So we got to think about that.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay,
give people the value. When the value's not there, then we can slash prices. Then people understand.
Okay, how about nothing can be over $20?
I mean, I think it just depends on what's in the bundles. I mean, I think most stuff is not over $20 these days, but periodically when they drop something that really tugs on the heartstrings of Halo fans, the cash cow. That's what the cash cows want. You know what I mean? And that's where we're gonna put them in a chokehold.
Okay, if that's still working and that's still bringing us money, then okay, fine.
That's probably where they're making the most money. Is when there's a skin that is it's like Halo 1 Master Chief. If they don't set that high, that's where that's what the cash cows want to buy. So we can't slash those prices. Eventually, but not right away.
Do we want to make credits earnable in game? It'll be very slowly, kind of like Helldivers 2 with the super credits.
Again, I think it's too little, too late. You know what I mean? We start giving that to people, and it's either people are gonna have mixed feelings about it at this point. I think we need to keep Halo Infinite how it is. It's just how much more content do we put in Halo Infinite, basically.
Okay.
How long do we keep it going, and what's the new exciting thing for Halo? What do you got for me? What's the new exciting thing for Halo?
All right.
What's a new project?
New project. Okay.
What's coming after Halo Infinite that we need to plan for?
All right, we need to address that when Halo Studios was announced, they showed off a bunch of assets of Halo 1, and that was a pretty huge hint that they were working on Halo 1 Remake. Now what I want to do is
they shut down all the old servers.
Shut down. What do you mean?
They shut down all the old servers. What do you mean just Halo 1?
No.
What do you mean they shut out for Halo? What do you mean?
When they were showing off Unreal Engine. Remember when they were showing that off?
The assets.
They were showing the new assets. They were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What I want to do is I don't want to go down the remake route where we're remaking all the old games.
Sure.
But I do want to take advantage of all those assets that we just practiced making in Unreal, since this is our first time making making Halo in Unreal.
So you're still gonna practice by making Halo 1 assets.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take those assets. We're going to We're just gonna recreate the Silent Cartographer mission. We're gonna recreate just Blood Gulch, and then we're gonna recreate just Halo 3's level of Forge in Blood Gulch, and we're gonna release that for free to the public, and we're gonna see how they respond to that.
Just playable?
Yes.
Or playable with what engine?
Well, Unreal. Well, it would be in the Unreal Engine, and then it would be on Xbox and Steam.
No, no, because what they're using right now is not exclusively Unreal, right? It's a mix of Unreal and some in the Blam engine. If you exclusively Unreal,
they're still using Blam. What?
It's like a mix, I think. Still, I think it's like Unreal to do the I think it's still part of partially Blam, partially the Halo 1 remake is partially Blam, partially Unreal still.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a mix of two engines, kind of like how MCC is.
Okay. Well, either way, I'll put that in my notes that Blam is still
the Halo 1. I think the next Halo game is not going to have... I think they're trying to get away from Blam, but I think, again, this is we're working with Unreal to make the assets, and, just for the first game, I mean, how...
So why were they worried about, how it plays, if it plays like Halo or not? I thought that was one of the concerns that they wanted to address.
What do you mean? So that's why they're using Blam for the gameplay.
Oh,
the Halo 1 gameplay.
I thought they were testing out if they could recreate the feel of. I thought that was part of the point of the remake was to practice. Hey, we got to make sure we got the feel of Halo within Unreal.
We thought that's what people thought, but no, it's not like that just yet.
Okay.
So and also a big complaint with the Halo 1 remake is that they're not using the Halo 1 AI behaviors or the physics and stuff like that. They're it's like a Frankenstein from a lot of different games, which is why people have an even bigger issue with the remake is because it's not even close to being faithful. You know what I mean? Because it's so many of those little elements are what make Halo 1 special. And when you start saying hey, let's take let's take the Warthog physics from Infinite, and we'll take the the AI from Halo Reach, and we'll take, you know, then it starts feeling really weird, and like things don't interact properly, which is like, you know, if you watch Hidden Experience video or Ackman, they kind of like call that out, like how the Warthog just drives too well and the AI can't really even react to it because they're not like built, they're not built to talk to each other. Well, not yet, at least.
Yeah.
That it just like seems to be some sort of disconnect for at least people who played Halo 1. So
okay. Well, then here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw Blam away because we gotta start working on just Unreal. So
you're throwing Blam away.
We're throwing Blam away
for the next project. Blam is gone.
Yes, and in order to test that we can get the feel of Halo, we're gonna create just three simple free content that we're gonna release to the public, and it's gonna be Halo Silent Cartographer campaign mission, and we're not gonna waste money and time revoicing the lines and redoing the sound effects. All the audio is gonna be the same from the original mission. It's just gonna be how well can we recreate the feel of that mission, and then we're gonna recreate Blood Gulch, and then we're gonna recreate Halo 3's Forge within Blood Gulch, and then we're gonna release it, and we're gonna see how the public reacts to it, and see how well.
This is too much work. This is too much dev time.
Why?
We need to produce something.
We are producing something, but
it has to be, you know, if we're releasing a demo, it has to be indicative of what is coming. You know what I mean? It has to be part of what is coming. It has to be part of the dev cycle for the whatever's next. It can't be a solo thing. We can't.
It can't be one mission and one multiplayer map. Just one simple. Nope. You think that's too much?
That's too much.
Like how long do you think the remake took to make?
They're not done with it.
They're not done with it, but like to get it to this point,
I mean, I think they're not even close to being done with.
They're releasing it next year.
Sure.
So were they only working on it for just a year?
Listen, I think it's probably been in production since the end of, you know, since 343. I think, you know, I mean, I think it's been predicted to be the next. I think even before Pete Hines got in the chair, I think it was probably, you know, what was coming next or whatever.
Damn. Well, that's more of a reason to utilize it. Then we have all these assets that we made. Why not put something out for free?
I'm not saying it was like the work was done on it yet, you know, with Unreal and stuff like that. I'm just saying that it was. I think that was the idea for a long time, probably.
Okay.
If the game was ever going to go, if Halo was ever going to go to PS5, you know, Halo 1 was the place to start or whatever.
Okay. So are you saying, is it possible that this wasn't Pierre Hines' idea? Like maybe Microsoft just wanted this to be released because it was already in the works, because it was
maybe.
Okay.
Maybe it is partially his idea, but you remember, he's been at the company still. He didn't have proper say at the top, but, you know, I think he's known what's been going on, and he knew what people were working on, and either they were like, you know, I don't know if he like changed direction, say, hey, we have to go with the Unreal right now. I think they were already probably looking at that at the end of Infinite because of how many problems Infinite had.
Yeah.
You know, once they got their asses together on Infinite, they were probably like, okay, this is the next step. Even like before Pete Hines got in, he probably, I don't know if he is the proprietor of that or not. I couldn't say for sure, but
okay.
Usually these studios, I mean, with how much time it's been since Infinite launched, you know, there had to be some drawings of what was coming next already, you know. Usually there's a pipeline for these kind of things. Okay. Like, I'm pretty sure like Bungie knew what they were doing, you know, before a game was even done. They knew where they were headed next.
Okay. So now I want to know about your opinion. Okay, so now it sounds like,
and listen, you remember, you're Pete Hines. You could say no to a Halo 1 remake, and like
you're saying it might be a good idea just to scrap everything we've worked on, because before I came in as Pierre Hines, before I came
let's say there were no asset. Let's say there was no work done on it. It was just the idea.
We're assuming there's no work.
Yeah.
What if there was work? Do you think it's a good idea just to scrap it all? Just to scrap?
I think that is a big part of video game development. Is you make a lot of stuff and you use, 50% of it. I think as we look at like older Halo games and like people making assets or stuff that was supposed to be in the game or like cut content. There's always a butt ton of it, and I think the best games make a ton of content and then cut it down to what makes the game the best. So
okay,
it's not wasted. I just think it's part of game development, and I think releasing, finishing a product to show off to people is a lot more work than making. If we remade Silent Cartographer and it was playable and stuff like that, to bring it up to a product standpoint where we're releasing it and saying, "Hey, get excited, guys!" I think that those levels are like pretty far apart. In turn, you could block out Silent Cartographer, but to brush up and do all the art and stuff like that, I think is too much work to release for free. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right, then I'll scrap.
So I think whatever comes next has, if we release a demo, it has to be part of a bigger whole. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like if we're releasing a demo or the Silent Cartographer, it has to be part of the next project. So you have to make that decision whether it's going to be the Halo 1 remake or we're pressing on or it's something different.
If using assets that we've already made is not a good idea, then I'm going to.
Well, I'm not saying you can't use them. I'm just saying that bringing them to finished product production, where you want the community to look at it in a positive light, is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I think we can't make it free. Is what I'm saying. If you wanted to do that, it would have to be like we'd have to get something out of it.
Okay. Well, what we get out of it is feedback. That's what I was trying to get. Because we're trying to we're going to a new engine and we're trying to make sure we're recapturing.
Sure, but I think getting feedback on what is actually coming next is going to be a lot better than did we do good? Like, does this feel like Halo 1? You know what I mean? But how much depending on what comes next, how valuable is that information? I don't know.
Okay.
And if they say no, then it's like, oh shit, we did all this work for nothing. You know what I mean?
All right. Then we're going balls to the wall, and we're gonna make a brand new. It's gonna be a spin-off game. So I want Halo 7 to come out 5 years from now, and in between now and then, we're gonna have 2 spin-off games.
5 years.
Yes.
5.
Maybe
5 years from now. 5 years from Pete Hines starting.
From Pierre Hines starting.
Which was how long ago?
2024.
So it's been almost 2 years. When did Infinite come out?
2021, I think.
So it will be like 9 years since the last mainline Halo game came out.
Well, let me go through my spinoffs. And
9 years?
Because hold on, here's the reason. Because we haven't made a game with Unreal yet, and if we want to make sure we want Halo 7 to be the best Halo game ever made, we got to make sure that we nail the Halo feel with some spinoff games. That's where my mind's going, because we can't use Blam anymore.
I mean, you want to make the best Halo game, but people are going to forget about Halo in the meantime. You might as well just put. I think 9 years.
What if the spinoff games?
I think 9 years is too long.
Let me go for the spinoff games really quick, and then tell me.
All right, I'm just saying. I think you should start thinking about Halo being in the next 1 to 2 years.
1 to 2 years.
Well, okay, not from when Peter Hyde is starting. So
I'm assuming from October 2024.
Halo Infinite came out in 2021. I want Halo 7 by the end of 2026, honestly.
2020.
Well, okay, I'll give you to the end of 2027.
All right, fine, 2027.
Maybe, hopefully, the beginning of 2027. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me go through my spinoffs really quick, and we'll discuss that. So,
and remember, spinoffs. We got a lot of studios under Microsoft. Other studios can work on these games. If they don't necessarily all have to be tailored. I think one spinoff game from Halo Studios I don't know. Halo Studios should
Let
be
me
working
go
on
over what they are,
Yeah.
and we'll decide. Okay, so if we're at the point where we're releasing just campaigns and not the multiplayer, or at least they're remaking the remake. They're remaking Combat Evolved campaign. They're not releasing the multiplayer. And I'm assuming part of the reason is they're testing out the Unreal Engine, or at least Unreal and Blam in this situation. But
yeah, they're seeing if they could not lose their asses on.
All right. Instead of remaking Combat Evolved, we're gonna make Halo ODST 2. We're gonna make the second ODST game, and it's gonna be a spin-off that happens on Zeta Halo. We're gonna walk in with. We're not restarting. We're not doing a fresh clean slate. All spin-off games and Halo 7 are going to be tied to Halo, are going to be spun off from Halo Infinite. We're continuing the story. We're going to be following just a team of ODSTs on Zeta Halo, and I'm gonna get a team of. So I believe I looked up that Bungie had a core team of 120 to 150 employees working on Halo 3, Halo 2, Halo Reach, and Halo 3 ODST. I mean, so. I'm going to get a team of the best. I'm speaking in broad terms because I don't have too much time. I don't have a lot of time to go over that, but basically get a core team of 120 to 150 people. Make sure
I don't need numbers. You could just say part of the studio. Like I would say, like the studio can work on. Okay. 2 projects at once.
The point that I'm trying to make is I want to minimize contractors as much as possible. I want core people working on this.
Well, contractors do, they make assets and stuff. I think keeping the core team to the engine, assets can be made outsourced, but we can't eliminate outsourcing altogether, but we can minimize it, I guess.
Yeah, I want to minimize it. Like I at least want a core team that's there through the entire production. That knows the engine, that has a clear vision. We're not changing freaking leads every year. Like one person, like in Infinite, like we had one person that was leading the whole thing, and then it changed to someone else, and then it changed to Joe Staten, and then so on. Like we need one person with one clear vision leading the whole thing, and I want most of the core people, there through the entire development. That's what I'm trying to get at.
What's your other project?
My other project, we're gonna make an Arbiter spinoff. So we're gonna follow the Arbiter on some other part of Zeta Halo, and this is gonna have campaign and multiplayer, and we're gonna have playable elites in this multiplayer.
Man, I don't know. I think these 2 projects. I think that's a hard sell.
That's a hard sell. Why is that?
Because like ODST, the original ODST. I mean, people have love for it, but it was not like a groundbreaking Halo seller. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about? People love that game.
People love that game, but it did not sell like the other Halos. I don't think. I think like. It was a spin-off game, you know what I mean? So it didn't sell. It wasn't like a mainline game. It was never meant to be like.
Neither is a remake of Combat Evolved. Neither.
What?
So, I mean, the company Microsoft and Halo Studios are already willing to just remake a mainline series game instead of making a new game. Like, do you think like a sequel to ODST, or at least a spin-off with ODSTs? Wouldn't sell as well as a remake?
Well, I think the problem is Halo Infinite, I think, is considered a flop, and I think to make spin-offs of a game, people gotta be excited for the mainline series. You know what I mean? I think it would be hard to sell to Microsoft, like, hey, remember how Infinite didn't do that well? Well, the next game's gonna be about an ODST, or the Arbiter, like, I think that's a tough sell just because.
Was it a? Well, hold on. How about lore wise? Was it a flop? I yes. Development wise, yes.
Lore wise. What do you mean lore wise?
Like story wise. Story wise.
ODST.
No, I'm talking about Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite story and the direction that it took. Was it a flop or what? Or was it heading in the right direction compared to Halo 4 and 5? Because we don't want to wipe the slate clean again. Because people are sick. People are sick of that.
Right.
Like,
I'm just saying, like. I'm not saying I think there's mixed feelings on Halo Infinite. I'm just saying like it's not a slam. I think the reason ODST is loved and stuff like that is because Halo 3 was such a slam dunk that like playing as an ODST, you were hyped about playing as an ODST. You know what I mean? But like you play Halo Infinite, you know, people are kind of like, okay, like where's the story at? And then we just like, hey, ODST 2. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how practical it is. Same with the Arbiter. It's like we haven't seen the Arbiter, and we like people don't really know what he's doing.
Well,
and,
now
like,
you get to know what he's doing. Now,
well, he hasn't been prominent in a game since Halo 3. You know what I mean? So it's like again another hard sell. Despite what it's about or how cool it is, I think it's a hard sell for just because people are a little mixed. You know, we haven't had a consistent slam dunk Halo series for a while. You know what I mean? So it's hard to sell spin-off games that are produced by the mainline studio. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're saying an ODST spin-off or an Arbiter spin-off wouldn't work unless Halo 7 came first.
Exactly. Like Halo 7, I think that the mainline Halo game has to be a banger for the spin-offs from the mainline studio to be, you know, taken well. You know what I mean? We could if we want to throw like ODST 2 or an ODST game to like Infinity Ward, people make Call of Duty or something, or if we want to like make some sort of Arbiter game, someone else, you know, let's see what Arbiter is doing. You know what I mean? Like it's a spin-off game, but it's not so much of our assets that are mainly working on Halo to, you know, use it. I think like mainline studio has to be working on. I think obviously like I don't like the remake of Halo 1, but when you look at the other choices like making a spin-off game or making Halo 7, they're scared to make Halo 7, you know what I mean? They're scared to just go right to it.
Yeah.
And anything other than remaking a Halo game is probably like not that feasible just because, again, Halo Infinite wasn't a slam dunk. So I understand why they're doing it, but it sucks, you know what I mean? If they're gonna make the Halo 1 remake, they should have like done a full wash of it, like washed their hands of trying to make it anything like the original, you know what I mean? It should have been like in the same vein. It either has to be super faithful or super unfaithful, but they kind of like made like a middle ground. So you're in a tough predicament. I mean, I'm just saying my piece. Maybe it would work, but I think it's a high risk, and I think like for half of the studio to be working on a spin-off game that could or could not be a flop because we don't know. You know, we don't know at the base like who wants this game.
Well, I'd say I would argue a lot of Halo fans, because I've heard a lot of Halo fans saying, we want something new. We don't want our Halo remake again.
If we're putting every new mainline Halo game on PS5 too, ODST 2, Arbiter game, not a good place to start either.
So Halo 7, you will?
Listen, I'm not saying it's great. I'm saying from the fan perspective, that's probably what the Halo fans want at Halo Studios right now. The Halo,
right.
I understand why the Halo 1 remake is there, but I mean like, and why they have to do it from a business perspective, but you know.
Okay, so assuming your argument is correct, that the Arbiter and the ODST spin-offs wouldn't work unless we have a banger. We need a banger hit.
Yeah, they just don't have enough clout. And like again, they could have spin-offs in the meantime before Halo 7, but it can't be the mainline studio that releases it.
Well, that means we got to go balls to the wall, and we got to master Unreal behind closed doors, and just get it in time for Halo 7 in 2027. We're starting in 2024.
Yeah, honestly, I think that is the best option. Even if it sucks, it's like you got no other options, son. You know what I mean? If you're not doing Halo 1 remake, if you're not remaking, I mean, you could remake Halo 3.
Sure.
Or like do an anniversary,
or
anniversary,
or remaster.
Yeah, and the anniversary of they could have done like the prettying up of it, or even Reach, or you know, Reach would have been a good place to start actually, because people don't have the same core love for that game. It has sprint, it has like armor abilities and stuff like that. You know, I think that would have been a good place to start. It's before Halo 1, so you can give it to PS5 people and they wouldn't be confused as fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been a better place to start than Halo 1. Halo 1 for a third time, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I probably would have done Halo 3 remake or Infinite remake if you want some practice on how to make the Halo game feel like a Halo game. But yeah. But like a spin-off, that's a little risky, especially if you want to start feeding the Halo for PS5 people.
Okay. Well, if you were a Microsoft executive telling me that, and if I only had two options, either I go balls to the wall and make Halo 7, or we do a remake, I say go balls to the wall and go do Halo 7 then. And we're gonna...
Yeah, I mean, you're preaching to the choir.
All right.
Because yeah, they're wasting time and Halo is losing relevancy as we speak. So
all right.
And there's the book. I mean, the book that finishes Halo Infinite is just so ridiculous.
Wait, you read it?
No, I mean it hasn't come out yet, but
okay.
The fact that they didn't learn that killing a character off screen is a terrible idea.
Did they kill a character off screen? What?
Well, number one, the Didact was still alive, and they killed him off screen.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about from Infinite.
I think they actually killed the real Didact off screen too. From Infinite. I don't know.
Did the pilot die? Oh my!
I don't know if they killed anyone from Infinite. I mean, the new Cortana got her real name gets her real name in the book. She doesn't discover that in the game. She just says.
I thought it was implied they were going to call her Cortana, like the way they were smiling at her.
No. Her name is Joyous, which is another sword, like Cortana was.
Okay.
But she gets her name in the book. She chooses in the book, not in the game. So the next game we're gonna start, and her name's already gonna be Joyous. You know what I mean? That was like a moment that should have been in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is it's like a big moment. Like.
Well, in my timeline, that book's not gonna happen. But
I mean, I like that.
But
because that sucks. Not that the book sucks. I mean, they could have made the book coincide with the game,
but to their fairness, to be fair to them, if the book is not if there's not too much detail in between Infinite and Halo 7, just like there isn't too much detail in between Halo 1 and Halo 2. Like, I know there's a book in between Halo 1 and Halo 2 that describes how Johnson gets off the ring.
Sure.
Like, if it's that level of detail where it's detail, like, you really didn't need to know that, like, if it like, her changing her name, like, okay, fine, whatever, that doesn't get me angry, but if as long as it's that much, then I think I'll be okay with. I think I'll be okay with it. If he gets into contact with more Marines, and by the time Halo 7 comes out, there's more of a military structure going on, then I think I'll be okay with that, as long as like the Endless haven't been released or something groundbreaking. Like if it's
they're gonna kill Jega, you know that, right? Jega's gonna die in the book.
Oh well. That sucks, but at the same time, like
in the game,
you could just assume that he died in the game if you never read the book. So,
all right, let me pitch something to you.
Sure.
There's been a lot of books detailing Master Chief's adventures in between Halo 4 and Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
What if before Halo 7 we do a Master Chief spin-off game where he's on like one of those book missions? You know, we basically remake a book into a small campaign.
I'm gonna say no.
Why? It's got Master Chief. It's got the draw. It's Halo, not Halo 7, but Halo. You know,
is Master Chief cool? Okay, are these most of these books are happening in between 4 and 5, right? Like, there's not that many in between 5 and Infinite, or is there?
I don't know. I don't know when a lot of the books take place. I just know
because I want Master Chief to be cool, and I don't want him to be an emotional train wreck in my games. So if he's an emotional train wreck in these books, like he is in 4 and 5, then I'm gonna say
so. No, it's more like I think he's on these missions with like Blue Team and stuff like that. So I think there's the one where he actually goes and like they have to finish off the Didact and stuff like that. I think that would be a good play. That would be a good, you know, I think if you're going to do a spin-off game, I know you want to truck to Halo 7. That's your idea, but
originally it was a spin-off, and also I don't want to. I know Steve Downs. I'm willing to bet Steve Downs only has like a few more years. He wants to be doing this until he's like, okay, I'm done. Like, I kind of don't want to waste like a bunch of more years of him voicing not a mainline Halo game.
Sure.
Because the reason why I wanted Halo ODST and Arbiter was because I want Halo 7.
Well, he can record his voice lines for Halo 7 now. You know what I mean? We just have to write the story, and then we can, so.
I'm just saying that's a lot more work for him to do, and I don't want to burn him out.
I think voice actors are happy whenever they can get work.
Are they happy? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they care. I don't think they. I think Steve Downs.
How old is Steve Downs? How old is?
He's kind of old. He's pretty old. Okay. But they're still. They still go to the Halo World Championship and do all the voices and stuff like that on stage. They read for people and. They still do skits and stuff. They never get tired and they're like, I'm done. I just want to retire. Him and Jen Taylor, because they kind of like go hand in hand. They do like conventions and stuff together. They, I think, are full into it. I don't think they've ever expressed that they would ever not like to do the character, if they were asked. So,
okay.
I think the only reason is if they ever like kind of their voice started to change or whatever, which is natural, but I think, you could squeeze them for as much as they want to do it in the meantime.
Okay, even if that's the case, I'm going to say...
Oh, they are voicing the book, the one that goes after Infinite, so he's going to be Master Chief in the book. He's going to read all the Master Chief parts, and Jen Taylor's going to read all the Cortana, or the...
Really?
Weapon parts, yeah. So...
Okay.
I might actually listen to that book, because, I kind of...
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
When they split it up, like audiobooks that split up the dialogue like that are pretty good.
What if you made a spin-off game off of that book?
Then why even make the book? I think.
Well, there's books for Halo 1, right? There's books.
Sure, but I think didn't coincide when they came out. You know what I mean? I think there was like.
Do they have to coincide?
I think they either came out before or after. Just to kind of like. See, in the earlier Halo games, you kind of had to picture what you were doing in your head because there wasn't you couldn't animate everything. Everything wasn't so hyper detailed, so you could write in the words about the things you were thinking you were seeing. Because everything's kind of not as detailed. Yeah. But nowadays, you could everything that's in a book you could probably display on screen. So
okay. All right. I'm still in the camp that, after hearing your argument about the spin-offs that we need a big hit. I feel like that applies to the Master Chief spin-offs as well. We need a really fun Halo game in order.
A mainline Halo game. Yeah. Yep.
So,
it's gotta be a banger. If you want to sell Halo, you gotta start at the core. You can't be selling, the extras. You can't sell the cheese without the nachos, basically.
Okay. All right. Let's talk Halo 7 really quick then, and then I'll mention one other idea I have, and then we'll call it quits.
I'm not. I will say that I really do want an ODS2 too, and I really, really want an Arbiter game. So I really want those things to be real.
How about this? In our real timeline right now, if an Arbiter game came out after the CE remake, would you be happy, or would you be like, no, I want Halo 7? What the heck? How would you feel?
It depends when the game is taking place. You know what I mean? If we get an Arbiter game and then he meets up in Halo 7 with Master Chief, and they go on that buddy adventure again, hell yeah. If we just if Arbiter's just off fucking around, I don't know. I mean, I would still buy it and play it.
Let's say it's a story of Arbiter's perspective of when Atriox attacks. What's the ship? Damn it! The ship's name.
Infinity.
The Infinity attacks the Infinity. Either he's on the Infinity, or maybe he's on a different ship, and that ship also gets attacked, and he's somewhere on Zeta Halo, and it's just about him.
Then because I think the best part about Reach in ODST is that you're seeing different perspectives of the same conflict. I love that idea. So
okay.
Sign me the fuck up.
Well, with my original idea, you would have gotten that, but okay, but we're going to Halo 7.
Sure.
You want Halo 7 more than the Arbiter game. You want the
that's tricky. I mean,
let's say Arbiter
Arbiter
is gonna be in Halo 7, but do you want Halo 7 first or the Arbiter?
It just I think it just depends how much space that would put. How much time that would add before Halo 7. You know what I mean?
Or
if it adds a year, sure. If it adds 2 years or 3 years, then I'm like, I kind of want Halo 7, and we could put Arbiter in Halo 7 too as well, you know what I mean?
Or we can compromise, work on Halo 7, make it the best Halo game ever made, and then we'll just release Arbiter DLC.
Sure.
All right.
I mean, that's great. I mean, DLCs that go back in time too, like, sign me up, you know what I mean?
All right.
Like, give me different perspectives. Give me, like, little stories. Sure.
All right. That's what we're doing then. All right. Let's talk Halo 7. Let's talk about we're not developing the game. We're creating the best environment for it to be made.
Okay.
All right. First things first, we're going back to
get rid of contractors.
Get rid of contractors. If you absolutely need contractors
for assets, then we first we need to consult with the core team. Like, okay, do you guys really need this? And if they really need it, then we'll do that. But for now, we need a core team of I'm gonna use numbers because I don't know anything about numbers. So.
Okay, I just know that 120 to 150 core members was the number for the mainline Bungie Halo games. Like, obviously there were more than that worked on it, but the core members were 120 to 150.
Right.
So
I don't know if that works anymore, but if it can, sure.
Well, the thing is, I want a clear, singular vision. So, and I want people that are familiar with the engine working on Halo 7 through the entire development process. And I want to.
It's just Unreal.
Unreal, yes, it's just Unreal.
Okay.
And we got to master Unreal. If we're not doing any spin-offs, we're not doing any tests of this. We're not doing any test spin-off runs of this. We got to master Unreal. So that's definitely part of it. But you know what? Halo 1, you know what? For inspiration, Halo 1 had to test the Blam engine. So if they were able to do that for Halo 1, I know it's possible for Halo 7. Like, we got to learn an engine, and then we got to just make the game. But okay, 120, 150 people.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep the Forerunner program. So I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I'm just gathering all.
Forerunners are the testers.
Yeah,
the community testers.
The community testers, yeah. So I want to keep them around. I want to see if I can get as many of the original Bungie people that worked on the original games to see if they want to be consultants. Now, I understand that's a risk because I understand some of them are just done with Halo, like they don't want to touch it.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
Fucking luck.
There is a risk that I will not be able to get any of them. And I'm fine with that, but I will make it an effort to see if I can.
Yeah, that's the biggest stretch of anything you said so far.
Yeah.
It's trying to get any of those developers
But if we were able to get any of them, like I feel like that's right.
A lot of the ones that were at 343 left because they hated it.
Yeah,
so,
I understand.
That would be like, hey, I know we shot you, but would you like to work on this game? We're gonna make it good, I swear.
I know, but
remember when we bastardized everything you ever loved and cared about, and didn't consult you for the other ones? Now we're sorry, and we need your help, please.
I know.
Please.
I understand.
Please, Joseph Staten. Please.
I understand.
Please, Jamie Griesmer. Please.
I understand. You are completely right. I'm just saying I'm gonna make an attempt, and if it blows up on my face, like worst case scenario, like they just say no, and then we just got to go from there. But
what if they just suck now? You know what I mean? You ever take that into consideration that, again, lightning in a bottle, and that you bring those guys back, that their advice is dated and not good? Especially the guys who haven't really made anything in a long time.
Maybe. I mean,
I think if we're bringing anyone back, Joe,
and
that's it.
Joe wrote the end. Was he supposed to write a script for the Endless? Like,
I don't know.
Okay. How about this?
Anyway,
if
that's where I'm drawing the line at Joe. If we can get Joe back, sure. Any of the other ones, just too disconnected. You know, Joe came back and he proved himself with Infinite. So.
Marty O'Donnell for the audio direction.
Again, he hasn't put out anything in a long time. You know,
even as consultant,
I would rather bring back Mike Salvatore.
Okay,
if we're gonna do music or whatever.
Okay,
I think he did some of the stuff for Halo 2 remake or whatever. I forget, but I think he's still working, basically.
Okay,
and not they're you know they're doing like a Halo celebration thing at the end of November, and they invited all of those people. They invited all the old. I don't know if they invited the devs, but they invited like the people who did the music at least. So Marty and Mike and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, people who did the music for Halo Wars and stuff. It was an invitation. You know, they're inviting those people. I don't know. We'll see what happens at the end of. See if people actually show up and if it goes well.
All right. So we at least want Joe. Okay, let's assume we can't get Joe. I'm at the very least going to ask if we can, if he wrote anything for the Endless. I'm going to see if we can at least get any notes from him on what his ideas were for them. Because I feel like we gotta use the Endless because they were teased in Halo Infinite. They got to be in the game, and we got to make them awesome. We got to.
Can we get Mick Gordon for the soundtrack? Let's get Mick Gordon in there. That would be
is he good at other music besides metal, or is he good?
See, I think he is. He knows a lot about music. I think he could be flexible with it. I don't know if it'd be a good match, but again, I was just kidding. It was spitballing.
Okay,
but I mean, I loved his music. So if the Flood are returning, he would make some good ass Flood music. I'll tell you what.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave that up to the writers to decide if we want to bring the Flood back. I would love the Flood back, but I want to make sure like it fits within the story and it's not just like fan service.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the Endless. Again, what the fuck are the Endless?
I know, but it's uncharted territory. That's the thing. Like we don't know if it's good or we don't know if it's really bad. Like,
yeah, it seems like.
But I say we got to go with it. Like the theme is we got to be confident. We can't just be compromising. We got to be confident that like at least Halo Infinite was going in the right direction, and we got to just make the next game bigger and better.
Well, I'm worried about a Force Awakens situation where they're just retreading the same ground. You know what I mean? Because Halo Infinite kind of feels that way. It's like, okay,
it is. Yeah.
The Banished are the Covenant, and the Endless are the Flood. You know what I mean? We're doing the same shit again. So Halo 7's got to be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if we brought like back the Flood, at least we're like, hey, we got the Flood and the Endless now. It's like
and we got to make
Flood. The Endless are not the Flood, and the Banished are not. I hope Halo 7 makes a bigger separation between these factions and like what they're about and stuff like that.
I also want to learn more about the Banished, about their culture and like what they want and stuff.
Yeah, because in Halo Wars they're a lot more interesting than Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
So
even then I still don't know what they want. I know they want weapons on the Ark, but like I don't know what their ultimate goal is.
Right.
So I want that. And speaking of Star Wars, I don't want obviously I don't want them retreading ground, but I also don't want a Rian Johnson that's just like subvert expectations for the sake of subverting expectations. Like it's got to make sense. It's got to be cool.
The Endless are the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
Master Chief was the bad guy.
Oh gosh.
I mean, 343 was kind of the Rian Johnson of Halo when they made Cortana bad.
I guess so. Yeah.
That was a subversion that pissed everyone off and never should have happened ever. So.
All right. Well.
We're off track.
We're off track.
Okay. So we're.
All right.
You're gonna ask. Let's assume
we got Joe, and if we can't get Joe, we at least get his notes.
Sure. And then any other people that we feel, I don't know. I'm not in the industry, but I'm sure people know these people are like worthwhile contracting or getting their advice. So.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? Hypothetically, if we put like we put a help wanted. I'm gonna say help wanted sign. I know it's not how they do it, but like
job Yeah.
job.
I know
We're creating job openings. If you were running it with me and you saw that you saw Jamie Greismer put his resume in, would you jump on that, or would you be like, I don't think he's as good, or
I mean, from my perspective, I don't know a ton about the guy or like what he's worked on. I think it just depends on what was actually in the resume.
Okay.
I think talking with someone is, seeing what they type online and what they say and what they have done is different. So
sure.
Again,
he made the original Halo games. That's part of it.
Base by base. I think base by base. We have to like chit chat. You know what I mean? Okay. I think we'd have to show him the project, get his like here's the interview, like here's kind of what we're working on. What would you do? You know what I mean? And then he gives a good answer. You're hired, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
All right.
Because it's hard to say, like, you made the best 3 games of all time. There's been a couple of games in between that really, like, changed the story completely. Like, so what would you do? You know what I mean? Because some people will probably want to just go back to basics, which I don't know if you could do at this point. So, again.
In some ways, I believe you can, but...
Yeah. Right, how Infinite did, sort of.
Yeah.
Infinite's a good game, man. I love it. I love Infinite.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just old, and I want to move on.
Yeah.
It's just...
But that was a good. That was the core values of it were good. Yeah. Well, at least what it ended up being. I don't know.
There's some things we could talk about. Yeah. Okay. All right. Originally, I was gonna say we were gonna.
You can't take out Sprint though. I'm sorry. Halo 7's gotta have Sprint. Sorry.
No. As Pierre Hines, I'm gonna say no. You get. Halo Infinite proved that Halo Infinite was not as good as it could be. Was part of, I believe it's because it tried to compromise. It tried to compromise. It slowed down sprint to the point where it was basically, it wasn't useless, but it was near useless. I'd say that's a good compromise. If we want to go, I say no compromise. I say if you want to make the best game ever, you can't compromise. You have to stick to a vision and confidently say this is the direction we're going.
I would say it's not compromise. I would say that Sprint complements Infinite. I'll say it. It complements the gameplay of Infinite. The sliding with its uses with the armor abilities and stuff like that. I think it actually works in Infinite.
Okay, well, what if we just create a different sandbox where we don't need it?
Well, again,
we're talking about Halo 7, not Infinite.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if you can put the cat back in the bag. You know what I mean?
Why not?
And Master Chief's running now. You can't put
he was running in the books, but yet he doesn't. You
can't put it back in the box. What can I say? I mean, I fear again. I don't think to sell the game. I don't think it's the cat is out of the bag. I think Infinite did. It's best to
let's call this an experiment then. Since I am Pierre Hines and I get to decide. I'm gonna boldly say we're gonna try a Halo game with no sprint and no mobility options. The only sources of innovation.
No mobility options.
No mobility options. It's the basic movements. The only I obviously want Halo 7 to innovate, but the only ways you get to innovate are map design, sandbox, equipment, or any other creative avenues besides just adding a base core ability. Because I want to recapture that feeling from the original Bungie games. And I am boldly gonna bet. I'm going to bet that it's gonna work.
Oof. Yeah,
I'm taking that bet. You know what? If it doesn't work, you can torch me. Whatever. Do it.
I think you're torched, man. I think you're fired.
I want it. If Halo 7 is a flop because it doesn't have sprint, go ahead. I don't care.
I think it's tough because we've already it's easier to add than to subtract.
Why?
And just because it's the expectations of how the game is now. You know what I mean? Even though there's millions of Halo fans that debate that sprint shouldn't be in the game.
Listen, if it's not that big of a deal, why are there people debating about it?
I think at this point, it's like... I think that the non-sprint people are the minority now these days, honestly.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I'm willing to bet that you can make a kick-ass Halo game without sprint.
I'm not saying you couldn't. I'm just saying that I think the majority of people would be mad that it's not there anymore.
They would be mad. I disagree. I heavily disagree.
Listen, I think Infinite again made the perfect balance of it.
I disagree with that, and I know there's many people that would disagree with that.
Sure, but there's going to be disagreement on both sides. I'm just saying that in 2020 whatever, you can't put Sprint back in the bag. I'm sorry, you can't do it.
I disagree.
In a spin-off game, maybe.
Okay.
Where you can introduce it. I think if you're going to Halo 7, you gotta put Sprint in and then you could kind of maybe pull it back from there again. But I think that,
okay,
especially if the game is a continuation of Halo Infinite story, if it's not, if Master Chief is not similar to where he was, it's gonna feel very discordant.
Master Chief is not what he's like, not what he was like in Halo 2, like he was in Halo 1. There's no health packs. He looks different.
He got a armor upgrade though. It's in the story. They got an armor upgrade.
Okay.
It starts at the beginning where it's like, hey, now you got shields. Like we upgrade your shields.
What if Master Chief, I don't know, on Zeta Hill got hit by an EMP blast and now his armor's a little heavier and now he doesn't have infinite grapple. He doesn't have infinite grapple. He has to pick up stuff from the world now. He doesn't have.
Okay, that stuff. If you wanted to add again, health could be rolled back. Just sprint, not sprint. You can't roll back sprint. It's and the continuation of the story. Where sprint was introduced, Halo 3 to Halo 4. It's basically a new story. We're continuing the same story. I think you have to keep a lot of the things the same to make people not go up in arms about it. You know what I mean?
I think if Halo 7's campaign is so good, and the only bad thing you could say about it is, sprint's not in the game, I'd say that's a win. I don't think people are gonna care if the campaign is so good that it's as good as Halo 2, Halo 3. We're going for it. It has to be. It has to be. It has to be a banger. We can't compromise. We can't be like, we're gonna try some stuff. No, we're going for it.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't think that works. I think maybe after Halo 7 or after, there has to be a pinpoint on the story before you can start to change base movement of the character. You know what I mean? Okay. It has to have an ebb and flow. You know what I mean? Kind of how Bungie did it. You know what I mean? Things changed about Master Chief, but it felt natural. If you go from Halo Infinite, he walks through a portal and suddenly he can't sprint, you're okay, this is hello? You're playing the mainline Halo games and you go from Infinite and then you suddenly just so much is different with Halo 7, you're going to be, it's going to feel like getting hit with a brick.
So how do you explain why he can't sprint in Halo 1, 2, and 3? What's the reason why he can't sprint? So
he is, again, he is sprinting or whatever, it's just it's not, it's just a feeling, I don't want sprint in Halo. I'm just saying it's going to feel discordant and people are going to not like it if we again, this is one continuous story. We have to make things feel cohesive between the two or else it's going to feel weird.
Let's say Halo 7 came out and you started playing it and you noticed, hey, I can't sprint. And then you kept playing the game and you really liked it. Would you be mad? Would you be mad and say that sprint not being in the game, it really hurts the experience for you?
I'm just
for you. We're not talking about the general audience. Let's talk about you. What?
I would like it, but it feels discordant. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm playing the games in a row. If I go from Infinite, because Infinite is not going to take place, or Halo 7 is not going to take place too long after Infinite. So if I get done playing Infinite and then I go straight to Halo 7, it's going to feel weird. You know what I mean? It's not going to feel like a cohesive story. It's going to feel like, why can't my dude, why is my dude so different now? You know what I mean?
Here's my argument. We've already been having that feeling in between Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Infinite, things not feeling like it ebbs and flows. You got Halo Halo 4, Master Chief has just brand new armor. I know the sci-fi reason and it's stupid, but it's still jolting and it's weird.
Yeah.
And he can sprint all of a sudden. Which like yeah, I know characters can sprint in real life and stuff, and like in the books it would make sense, but like it's just weird that now he can sprint in the game. Now then we go to Halo 5. Now all of a sudden he can ground pound, he can hover, he can charge, he can do all this, do all this stuff. And then we go to Halo Infinite, and now he can no longer do all that stuff, and he can only do a small sprint and a small clamber and a small slide. What's so bad about taking it down one more notch? It went up, the mobility went up, and then it started going down to Infinite. What's the harm of it going further down and just getting rid of it? We're back to basics.
Well, it changed. It didn't get rid of it. It changed, and also those stories weren't as tied together as Infinite and Halo 7, because I think the problem that you're talking about is also a problem with the story. You know what I mean? But now that we're in a good story that we want to continue, it has to be more of a flow than Halo 4, 5, and Infinite. You know what I mean? So now that we've gotten in a rhythm, we can't do the Halo 4, 5 thing again, where we're like changing so much stuff, because now we're in a flow where the story is gonna flow. So it's like we can't do those big changes again, because if you go from Halo 4 to Halo 5, not only does the character feel different, the story is different, and you're not in the same place or the same. It feels like you're in a different timeline. So that is a problem with more than just how Master Chief is. It's a problem with the story. You know what I mean?
If you had to choose between the flow of just keeping sprint in versus what if during the development of the game we just realize the game is more fun if we just keep sprint out of it, would you be willing to compromise and say yeah?
See, that doesn't happen though. It's like you have to design things with the,
because I want to have a casual good time with my friends, and I don't know, like sprint kind of just feels like it gives us this is my personal opinion coming in, and like even if you slow down sprint, just the animation of it, like it kind of takes away some of the like, you know, we're chilling, we're playing a game, we're having fun. To now, oh crap, I gotta be sweaty. I gotta try really hard. Like that's what.
Well, that's opinion.
That's opinion. I mean? Yeah, I know it's anecdotal, but
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with you, but
I'm just saying if we were developing the game and we realized this just feels so much better without it, like would you be willing?
Here's another thing: is Halo 7 gonna? I think we're both in the camp that it needs like open world elements, but also like linear elements.
It needs to be closer to Halo 1 than Infinite, where like we need linear levels, but we can learn from Infinite and we can make the levels more open. Like we can add more secrets within the linear level.
That's tough.
It's tough, but
it's tough. Listen,
was it fun?
I think the sprint debate is above both of our pay grades. I don't think.
Well, in this hypothetical scenario, it isn't. I'm Pierre Hines.
I'm saying if a game being the best it can be also is the marketability of it, and I don't think that, you know, taking away sprint is going to be good for the game. Honestly,
okay.
At this point, well, again. Halo 7 comes out, it's a banger. We get like kind of a pinpoint on the story. You know, if we're continuing it, it has to have more sprint. If we're changing gears, you know, it's a different Master Chief story now. You know, then we can start to make alterations to more of the core dynamics of it. But I think if we're trying to keep cohesiveness, think about if you put sprint into Halo 2. You know what I mean? It would be the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, it would be the same thing.
It would suck. It would be because it wouldn't even fit the formula anyway.
What I'm saying is, the game would be different. Let's just say they built it around sprint. It would feel weird going from non-sprint to sprint in Halo 2.
Yeah.
Because the story is flowing. Now we're doing the same thing but backwards. So, again, if this is going to be like, I imagine that Halo Infinite, Halo the Endless, there's one more game. The cohesiveness has to be better than it has been in the past. You know what I mean? If we're keeping to a singular story.
And you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of fun in order to get there.
Yeah, I think there are benefits to sprint, especially like in an open world kind of situation.
But we're not going to do an open world. We're going to do linear missions a little bit more open than Halo 4 and 5, obviously. But yeah.
Listen, the game's gotta sell. Sorry.
All right.
Even if it's the best game ever, if no one knows about it.
Okay. Well,
especially if we're shitting out the Halo or to PS5, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's a hard sell to people who don't play. You know, it's an easy sell to Xbox gamers because we played the core Halo games.
Yeah.
If we're shitting out the PS5, they're gonna be like, "Ooh, this game's slow." You know what I mean? So,
what if they play MCC and they really like those games, and they realize, oh, it's slow.
It's gonna take time for that to, the zeitgeist to develop. So
okay.
I don't think we could do that right away. And I don't think sprint takes so much away from. I mean, the alternative is.
What's the vibe? What's the vibe that you want in a Halo game? What do you want to feel when you're playing the best Halo game ever made?
Listen. We already had the best Halo games ever made.
We did, but we want it again. We want an even better game.
I think it's like you don't know until you see it. It's hard to say.
That's what I'm saying.
It's hard to say because, like, I like Halo Infinite, but it's like, just like the core of it, it's like Halo's been going on for so long that I don't know how you make the best Halo game ever at this point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if Sprint is part of it, if Sprint could be part of the best Halo game ever, I'm not gonna rule it out.
Okay, but if it wasn't there, and it was the best Halo game ever, would you be okay with it?
Me, yes. Again, we're talking from a community perspective.
So we're just talking about what we're willing to bet on in terms of what people will like. I
would not bet on no Sprint.
If I was the fall guy for it, would you be okay with it?
If you were the fall guy,
I'm willing to put myself on the line and say a Halo game could succeed without Sprint, and if it, I'm pure Heinz, so the responsibility is on me. If you're right, and Halo 7 suffers because Sprint's not in the game, even though every other element is freaking awesome, then I'll take the blame for it. But I'm willing to bet that that's not going to happen. I think it's just a matter of what we're willing to bet on. Like
man, listen. I think it needs, especially if we're keeping the grapple hook and stuff like that, like the sliding and the running and with the grapple hook. That made
just redesign the grapple hook.
It would not be as fun without sprint and sliding. You know what I mean? Because I've never played a non-sprint game where the grapple hook, that Halo Infinite's got the best grapple hook I've ever used in the game before.
Sure.
More than even the finals and stuff like that. It just has so much momentum and mobility and so many different things you can do with it.
Yeah.
And I think without sprint, it just doesn't work the same. Because it changes the dynamics of, if you have more momentum or less momentum, it changes how the grapple hook works. And physics are a big part of Halo, if you integrated sprint into more things, it could be a game changer, especially if you're you could pick stuff up off the ground, and if you're sprinting, you throw it farther or whatever,
Yeah.
I think there's ways to integrate it interestingly. And Infinite, again, it's not too dissimilar from non-sprint in a way that I'm okay with.
I'm just gonna say that I don't know a clear answer for that, but I am willing to bet that if we put that in the R&D lab, I'm sure the guys could think of something.
Maybe It's something I think the developers of the game would have to highly consider both, and then just see which one kind of eeps out. But I think if you're continuing Halo Infinite and you're keeping some of the same things from Infinite, you gotta keep sprint, because I think a lot of the gameplay from Infinite works around sprint. So
okay. All right. What I'm getting from what you're saying is that there is a risk of going down the path of no sprint. I'll at least accept that, but I am willing to. I know you're going to argue against it again, but I'm saying if I'm in charge, I'm willing to go.
I'm saying it's going to feel like a whole different game from Infinite, which is going to be
Why is that
weird.
a bad thing? Why is that a bad thing?
Because it's going to feel weird. Again, you're continuing the story, but from a completely different lens. You know what I mean? And it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel like putting on.
What if it's fun in a weird? What if it's weird in a really fun way?
I mean, of course it's gonna be fun and weird in a really fun way. But I'm just saying, I don't know. If it might not be. If you want the best Halo game ever, maybe you take that stuff out. If you want the best trilogy ever, you gotta keep it cohesive. You know,
okay.
You could have a part. I mean, there is an opportunity where I don't know how you kind of backtrack on the armor. I don't know. There's a way to take sprint out of Halo, but I don't think just taking out abruptly is the best option. I think you have to work your way to it somehow.
Okay, I'll take that argument into consideration.
Okay.
If you were leading the charge, then I guess we would go in that direction.
Yeah, if you're keeping, especially if you're keeping anything from Infinite, you know what I mean? The enemy design, the equipment options, stuff like that. If you're keeping any of that stuff, you gotta keep sprint. Sorry, you just got to.
Okay. All right. If you were in charge, yeah, that's what would happen. If I'm in charge, that I'm taking the risk. But I see what I do see what your argument is. So
yeah, I understand your argument that the best Halo game ever doesn't have sprint because up to this far it hasn't.
Yeah,
and the core design of gameplay, I much prefer the aspect where it's you're running and gunning constantly. There's no
interruption.
In that you design the game around running and gunning and there's no instant burst of whatever.
Exactly. I want a more casual experience. And I feel part of it, and this is again anecdotal, but I feel like I get a more casual experience when I don't have to deal with people sprinting all over the place, and also me not having.
Are you talking about multiplayer?
Multiplayer and in campaign, because I want to have a casual fun in campaign too. I want to laugh with my buds and stuff. Which I mean, it can't happen with sprint, but a sprint kind of hinders it, in my opinion. This is anecdotal. This is why I'm saying that. But and there's plenty of people that can debate this better than I can.
Right.
But
sprint ruins gameplay.
But from what I gather, that's my anecdotal evidence. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. We at least know where we stand on that.
Yep.
All right. Let's finish this up really quick.
Too long.
Too long. One more rule. For the guys writing the story that I'm gonna force on them.
Sure.
Is humans are forerunners. I want that to be consistent. I know you're shaking your head. I think it's brilliant, and I want it in the lore. Do whatever you got to do, story guys. But no, I want Bungie's original vision to.
It's not even Bungie's original vision that Jamie Grismer said that got tossed out at the very beginning. Except in a recent post that he made that humans weren't Forerunner, at the beginning maybe, but partially through development that they tossed that out the window.
Except Halo 1 just Halo 1 by itself has clear signs that they are humans.
Yeah, but apparently Bungie tossed it out the window.
Also, Jamie Grismer doesn't write the story. So
but he has background knowledge of what they were planning, and apparently, through the Bungie times, humans are Forerunner lost steam at some point. You know what I mean? So it wasn't fully a 343. Fuck you. You know what I mean? There was seeds of that in Bungie. So we can't blame it all on
Frank O'Connor.
We can't blame it all on 343. So
okay. I'm just saying,
and you can't do that now. So I don't know how. There's Forerunners in the game, so humans are Forerunner. You can't. Yeah, you can't do that now. There's too much lore.
Retcon.
You can't.
They're all in the books. Those retcons are mostly in the books.
No. There's
you just say the dialect
there's
really
no
isn't.
retconning.
Really isn't.
There's no big retconning at this point. No. Sorry, you lost me.
Nah. Well, too bad. That's
You're fired. You're absolutely fired. Day one. You're day one fired. If this is your vision for Halo 7, you are fired. Sorry.
Whatever. But all right. Besides that, okay. I think that's okay. I guess I'll go over expectations of what I want Halo 7 for Halo 7. Okay, obviously we want 2027 at the latest.
Yep.
Really obvious stuff. We don't want missing features. I want
full complete game.
Full complete game. And I'm going to define what that is. I'm going to say if there's a feature in Halo 3, Halo Reach, or Halo Infinite that isn't in Halo 7, then it's a missing feature and we need to fix that as soon as possible.
So you need... Here's definitely what you need. You definitely need as many game modes in a game mode editor as savvy as Halo Infinite's. You need at least multiplayer Forge and at least some sort of third element. I'm not going to say Firefight. I'm not going to say Spartan Ops. I'm not going to say anything. It just needs to be a third element of the game besides multiplayer and campaign. And so we need full multiplayer, full campaign, Forge, and then some other element that makes the game interesting. Whether it's Firefight, Spartan Ops, it just needs to be... they need to put their full ass into whatever they're handing us, you know what I mean? Because, Firefight can get old and Spartan Ops can get old. If they could think of a cool banger third thing that's not Battle Royale.
Yeah, obviously I want them to innovate and add new modes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I disagree in saying, I do not want to leave anything out. Leaving Firefight out, no. I'd say you gotta have that in day one. You need everything that has been in a Halo game, either day one or that's an Infinite altogether, to be there at day one. This needs to hit out of the park. I feel like if that's not in the game, that's not going to hit out of the park as well as if it was in the game, all in the game.
Maybe Firefight, but again,
and forgeable AI and Forge. We got to do it, man. This has got to be the best Halo game ever made.
Listen, I think it all depends on the game. You know what I mean?
This is Halo 7, the greatest Halo game ever made. That is the game that we're making.
The best for sure. Multiplayer Forge. Game, a full plethora of multiplayer, a full campaign, and then some last element. I don't know what exactly it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something new. If we come up with something new, add it. If you want a third element that we've never done before.
Because I think mostly people, there could be a huge debate on what needs to be in a Halo game, and I think just as long as you have a Warzone, a Firefight, a good Spartan Ops, something like that, I don't think, just that third element has always been the what factor, and it has to just be really good, whatever it is.
We need a custom games browser with Forge on day one.
That would be nice. Yeah, I would like that. Yeah, that should be a thing. But, we're building a new game, forgeable AI, maybe, I think just I think with a full campaign, a full multiplayer, and some real banger third thing, I think that is all you need to make a good game. It doesn't necessarily have to be, Firefight or Spartan Ops or Warzone. It just has to be so good that you don't miss one of the other things. But you need the big three, at least.
I'm struggling to think of what wouldn't be missed as much. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, you're talking like we gotta leave something out.
No. I'm just saying that putting it all in is sometimes not feasible. But I'm just saying, like...
But if we pulled it off, wouldn't that be freaking cool?
I'm just saying the building blocks is... Halo 1 is... What you get in Halo 1 is the building blocks. Everything else is kind of, like, more optional, but you need it there, is the thing. And I think, like, every Halo game you could make tweaks, and depending on what the Halo game is, then you kind of can decide what that third option... What is the game missing, basically? Is Firefight missing? Is there, like... Do you need to fight... And are these enemies fun enough to put in a wave environment? Because I don't know...
Well, yeah, we definitely need to make them that fun. We definitely...
Well, are they more fun to fight in... like a Spartan Ops type missions where we keep releasing periodic updates where, we're continuing this small story. I feel like that could be a good option.
Okay.
And I feel like Warzone is PvPvE, so you do fight those PvP enemies, or PvE enemies, but also like PvP, which is a lot of people like Warzone too. So, again, I think there's the third element is a question mark. It just has to be good to be a complete Halo game.
Okay.
ODST and Reach had great firefights. I think it just depends on what the developers... They have to love what they're doing, and if Firefight is an old concept, and we could iterate on it to make it something way better, I'd say go for it,
Okay.
Innovate. I feel like
yes.
Firefight could be innovated on. I feel like
sure.
I feel like Spartan Ops and Warzone could be iterated on.
But we definitely need classic Firefight in there as well. Like, we can't... Like, people will be expecting that. Yeah.
Maybe.
Or at least people like me will.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know what the game will need because I think...
Everything.
With multiplayer and campaign, the third option is always to fill the need. You know what I mean? I don't think it's necessarily any one thing. Like when I play, if I bought a new Halo game, I wouldn't expect it to have Firefight. You know what I mean? At this point, I'm expecting it to have more.
Did Halo Reach have Firefight on day one?
It did.
Okay, you don't think it would upset anybody if they received a Halo game that didn't have Firefight on day one?
Halo 4 and Halo 5 didn't have Firefight.
That didn't upset anybody.
Well,
I guess the enemies kind of sucked, so I guess
we got Spartan Ops. If Spartan Ops hadn't sucked, maybe there wouldn't be as much complaining about Halo 4.
Okay.
People liked Warzone. I think there was less complaining because we kind of got... It's kind of like Firefight with PvP.
Yeah.
So it was like a nice middle ground. And I think where Halo Infinite comes in, it's got nothing. You know what I mean? We got the campaign, and if you want to fight AI enemies, you got no other opportunity to do it. So,
yeah.
Again, I think there's the mystical third option is what the game is missing. And I feel like it could be,
that can be cooked up in R&D. That can cook,
right.
Yeah.
And it should be something special. If you just throw in wave-based Firefight, it could be half cooked. Like I feel like it's a little bit half cooked in Infinite. You know what I mean? The Firefight. Forgeable AI and campaign, I feel like that shines brighter than the Firefight mode.
I will agree with that.
Just because...
And you could just make classic Firefight from that anyway. So.
Right.
Okay, you know what? If we came down to that, then yeah, I'd be fine with that.
I would love forgeable AI. Like, my optimal Halo Infinite or Halo 7 has forgeable AI and has like that able to build your campaigns from the ground up day one, but it could be something else too, because I know that could be difficult, especially if we're moving to Unreal.
Yeah.
That might be a big ask for.
We're assuming we have a really good grasp on Unreal and that we can do it. Okay. So we can do everything that Blam can do.
Then yeah, like having that, having Infinite's forged day one would be amazing.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that's my. Yeah.
You agree that a Halo game doesn't necessarily need firefight, but it needs like the third element to cover what campaign and multiplayer doesn't.
You need an option to fight the AI in other creative ways besides just replaying the campaign. That's at least where I'm gonna.
Okay.
I don't like. I want everything, but if I had to compromise, then forgeable AI. Fine.
Everything is amazing, but
at the very least, forgeable AI. You need to have that in Forge. Like, fine. If we, yes.
Forgeable AI. Now you're asking for something that was only in one game ever. So.
But it was awesome.
It was awesome, but I'm saying what you need in a Halo game. If it didn't have it, you would miss it. But, so the ultimate experience, the ultimate experience would have everything. But if you release Halo 7, you need to be like reasonable. You know what I mean? If you had to be reasonable, we could take that out, right? Because whole new engine, new engine. You know, whole new. I don't even know how Forge is gonna be day one, because you know
it's got to be like
building maps and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's got to be like that's all I got.
I'm just saying, forgeable AI I think is tough. You know, I feel like the only reason we got it is because it was kind of already baked into like that's how they built Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how they're gonna build Halo 7, because it's just a whole different game. You know.
Okay. I'm going toward the more ambitious side and saying if we want the best game ever, if we want this to be a home run, it's got to be in the game. I know, but you at least agree with me that this has to not hit it out of the park. Like, this has got to be a really special Halo game.
Yeah, whatever they do besides campaign and multiplayer, it's got to be something that ticks that thing in my brain that is like the first time I played ODST Firefight, or you know, the first time I played even like Warzone was like, and got to pick my rec weapon and felt like a god or whatever. It's got to like recreate some of that magic.
Okay.
You're fired.
I'm fired.
You're fired.
Oh no.
You're too ambitious. You're going way over budget. You're not selling enough of the game. You're fired. You're a dreamer. Go make your own studio, scrub. See how that works out. See how pouring love into a game works for you, buddy. In 2026, we make games that are slop, and you're going to like it. You're going to pay $70. $70 and then a $1,000 a year subscription fee to be able to play that game.
I would rather pay $70 for Halo 7 than microtransactions.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be hard to divert from too. The microtransactions. Now that they've got their grubby hands on it, it's already in Infinite. If Halo, my guess,
they need it. They need it.
My guess for Halo 7 is that the campaign and the multiplayer are not even going to be like the same package.
That's a mistake.
I know it's a mistake, but that's how it.
In my timeline, I wouldn't let that happen. No way. I will fight. I will fight to keep those together.
I would not be surprised if that happens. There's some multiplayer element that comes out before Halo 7's story, and then Halo 7 doesn't have a multiplayer.
Unacceptable.
I'm just saying, this might be how it is. All right. We're getting Halo 1 remake.
I do want to share with you one more idea before we end it.
Okay.
So Halo 7, let's assume we succeed. It's the best Halo game ever made.
Yay!
And then we get a bunch of spin-offs, our ODST 2 and
Let's
our
go.
Arbiter spin-offs. Maybe they're DLC, maybe they're spin-off games, whatever.
Yeah.
We get a Master Chief book spin-off game. We sell a bunch of books because Halo 7 is freaking awesome. We knocked it out of the park. Next thing I want to do, just to please the Halo 5 fans, because I'm sure, yes, I know there are fans that love sprint and the mobility and stuff. In order to please them, I have an idea.
You want to please the Halo 5 fans?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes. We're going to use some of the money that we've earned from profit, and we're going to make a new IP that caters to the Halo 5 fans. So it has all the advanced mobility that you love from Halo 5, but it's going to be a new IP. No, it's not going to. You can take inspiration from Halo, but it's gonna be a completely new story, completely new IP.
Why not just make a Spartan 5 story where, just a different Spartan with those abilities.
But we want a huge multiplayer setup for these guys though, right?
Yeah, sure. You could have that. Why you got? I think keeping the brand, keeping it on brand and calling it, something else, and I think what 343 did that fucked them over is say Halo is about the Master Chief. Because
sure,
because
I agree with that.
Because at the end, Bungie knew that Master Chief's story was done. It was over. It was time. It was time to move on and tell different stories of the universe, and that's what they started doing. And then 343 comes back and says, "No, Master Chief is a superhero, and it's all about him." You know what I mean? And I feel like that was a huge mistake in that, like, going forward after Halo 3. Master Chief can show up. Master Chief can have his own game, but the Halo universe isn't about Master Chief.
Yeah.
Master Chief was always just a pawn in the system, and you were playing through his eyes as he was seeing the battle unfold, a bigger thing that was bigger than him unfold, and he just happened to get caught in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
if we are going to go in that direction, if you don't want to make a new IP, which I don't see the harm in doing that, but if we want this the Halo 5 style, if we want to please the Halo 5 fans and we want to bring that style back, at the very least we need to finish whatever the story with Aatrox and Master Chief needs to be wrapped up before we even do that. So
okay.
Yeah, whether Halo 7 ends Master Chief's story or if we have to end it in Halo 8, we have to end the Master Chief story and the Banished story before we move on to advanced mobility and stuff.
Well,
as a spin-off.
Is Halo 8 the end of the Master Chief?
I would like to end it at Halo 7, but if we have to pull a Halo 3, like Halo 2 was supposed to be one game, but they had to do Halo 3. If we have to do another game, then we have to, but
I feel like we need 2 more games with the Master Chief just cuz Halo Infinite kind of feels like a brand new start, and
yeah.
If we get the start and the end of the Endless in one game, that's going to feel very quick.
What if Halo 7's campaign is so massive that it might as well be 2 campaigns?
You are too optimistic. And I feel like no matter how long Halo 7 is, that we need one more story in Halo 8.
Fine.
Especially
I'm fine.
especially if we kind of want to, like, Master Chief needs to pass the torch somewhat. You know what I mean? Where do we go from Halo 8? If Master Chief isn't around, he has to at least pass the torch. You know what I mean? To someone else.
Or just end it and then just follow a different character. Like, why does he need to pass what does that even mean exactly, like, in this context? Like,
well, it's like, who's going to be the main character of the story going forward?
Who says there needs to be? What if there's different characters that are main characters? Kind of like in the spin-off games with ODST and Reach, like...
Well, now we've had too many games with the Master Chief where the story follows him specifically. So I feel like without something to hold on to, I think there might be...
I say we just focus on giving Master Chief a really good ending that's similar to Halo 3. It's not going to be as good as Halo 3, but, like, get it close to that. And then don't worry about passing the torch. Just we'll make a new character. Like, we don't need Master Chief saying you are the hero now, like in this cheesy freaking line or whatever. Like, we don't need that. Like, we just finish the fight, put Master Chief to rest, and we're...
Well, can you think of a franchise that followed one character and ended, and now we follow another character that is successful?
It was Halo during Bungie when Halo 3 Master Chief was done, and then we had ODST and Reach, and it was still successful, and it was still.
I would say both those are quote unquote spin-off games
that were really good.
Yeah, but if we wanted to continue after Halo 3, we can't just like tell random stories. 2 hours, nice.
2 hours, yeah.
This video would never work.
It would not. It was fun though. It was fun.
Yeah. It was fun. That just shows how much you've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
And how much we love Halo.
I at least got this out of my head. I was thinking about this during work.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
I think the only way to, after Master Chief's done, you have to reboot Halo. You have to restart.
Like they already are now.
Sorta, yeah. But you'd still fall into Master Chief, so I think you'd have to reboot the franchise because, like, what do you do after Master Chief's gone?
What if you're just done and we move on to a different IP?
IPs never die. Profitable IPs never die.
You hit a home run with Halo 7 and maybe Halo 8 if we need it, and then we're done.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. That was Halo 3, and then it kept going. So it's gonna keep going. How do you do it? That's the thing.
We pass the torch as Pierre Hines. I will pass the torch to someone else and say, "Hey, good luck. Good luck. I'm gonna retire in my."
Now you ruined the franchise. I had my time ruining the franchise. Now it's your turn.
But yeah, that's what I would do as Pierre Hines, and I guess I'm fired. But
yeah. I think that in a different timeline it could work, but I feel like the groundwork, we have such fucked up groundwork that it's hard to pivot that hard.
Yeah.
At this point.
But I feel like we need to. But
well, I think your best bet is instead of making Halo 5 a different IP,
we're talking about Halo 5 players, yeah.
We make Halo 1 players a different IP. Where
you know what? If Halo 7 and Halo 8, if we need it, and end on a banger, you know what? I'm fine with that.
Let's bring back the Halo 1 mechanics.
If you're not bringing Master Chief, if you're not going to ruin like core characters from from Master Chief to Cortana and all that, if you're not going to ruin them and we're just done with all the old stuff, if you want to remake Halo and ruin it, like, you know what? That's fine. Like we had Halo 7 and Halo 8. We're good.
Well, I'm saying, like, if you're gonna if we're gonna bring back Halo 1 game design philosophies, why don't we just make a new game with those Halo 1 philosophies instead of trying to hammer it back into Halo,
Sure. You
can. Why don't we just, instead of, like, we loved Halo 1, why don't we just make a different IP that plays like Halo 1?
Sure.
Instead of trying to ham-fist it.
Sure. I'd be open to that.
So I think that is a better solution to your, Halo 7, it's hard to draw back.
I'm just saying
make
that
a new IP
Halo
that
Infinite
like
is moving in that direction. It was moving in the right direction towards the classic formula, and I feel like instead of going out on a whimper, we should just embrace it and be ambitious and make the best Halo game ever. Once we're done, once the story and everything's done, we've made the best Halo games ever made. You know what? Let's do it. Make a new IP. I'm fine with that.
Fucking burn down the studio.
Burn down the studio, but let's make a banger first. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I would want. And coming back to the real timeline, I'm no longer Pierre Hines. I'm a customer.
Yeah.
I want the best Halo game ever made, and I don't think it's gonna happen, but I want it. And
yeah, it's gonna be tough, especially since, again, terrible showing with unless they really pull Halo 1 remake out of their ass. Not looking too good.
I've watched all the feedback from Late Night Gaming, Actiman, Hidden Xperia, Ubernick, and a bunch of other people. I'd say, you know what, if they listen to what those guys have to say, I'm not going to say it's going to be something special, but I will say, you know what, it's going to be, it'll be
we're not going to be face palming the whole time.
We're not going to be face palming. We'll say, you know what, I don't agree with this direction, but you know what, we had a good time with this.
Yeah, you play it like it's a different game, not like it's Halo 1.
Yeah,
it's kind of like revisiting an old friend, even if it's like a shittier thing, it's nice to have around, I guess.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna end the conversation
here. I'm gonna go pee and then